I'm Christine Deavel, and my first full-length collection, Woodnote, was published in 2011 by Bear Star Press. I run a bookstore, a poetry-only bookstore, with my husband, John Marshall, in Seattle's Wallingford neighborhood. My father gave me 2 sets of diaries from distant relatives, some of which are here, just a few of them. One in particular, a woman who lived on a farm, a relative of ours, not far from where my father grew up, and not far, probably about 50 miles from where I grew up. They felt very important to me. This was Sarah kept these diaries for almost 50 years. Primarily it's the weather, if they went to church, who preached, if they baked pies, if they did the laundry. There's not a lot of variety. Occasionally they may have been a surprise, but mostly it's a record of someone living. So this is May 1946, which was a Friday, a nice day, a terrible windy day. We clean hen houses and put out Orpha Mischler's dahlias and wash a little. Charlie plow this forenoon. But I felt drawn to figure out how to both honor the diaries, how to respond to them, and how to listen to them, I think, at the same time. A cloudy day, a cloud day, a snowy morning, thawing, a frost morning, a pleasant day, a thawy day, a misty day. After the writer of the diaries passed away, the diaries played as a loop, the first day as alive as any in them. 8 above zero, a misty afternoon, a nice day, a mild day, a snowy afternoon, a gloomy day, a cold wind. The rows of volumes stood up and opened themselves to the eternal. June 23rd, 1914 is a picture on the wall. If everyone there is dead, then that is living. So much of this amazing farmland, which is incredibly fertile, came about because all of the marshes had been drained from that property. How that landscape was, with massive amounts of trees and wonderful swampland and its own ecosystem and all kinds of birds and wildlife, had been removed in order that my people could farm. I mean, we all have to figure out how to live with loss. We do. We're mortal. The world changes. We have to let things go. I think I wrestled with that knowledge. I'm not sure that I understand exactly what I was saying throughout the book, but I think part of what I wanted to feel was that even if parts of my landscape were hidden from me, either by being, destroyed or built on, if parts of what came before were gone, if my mother was taken from me, if I had left all these things that defined me, there was still part of it there, and understanding how do things exist even as we move away from them. And sometimes I began to feel that it's enough to know that they were there. We can't bring some things back. It's not going to happen. But sometimes just saying, this happened and I'm aware of it, is a kind of preservation. And this one is very much autobiographical. The walnut is a dangerous beauty. The nuts in their green cases fall and strike sometimes, less predictable than bees. Best to leave the yard mostly to it for a while. And the darkening, softening casings stain the hands and the feet of the one languidly putting them in a pail. Straight as light, unmarred, rivulet, perfect brown bark on a trunk that is worth something because a man knocked at the door to buy it, that is, cut it down. The walnut is a messy tree, Mother said, with no pleasure, but she left it where it is. Poetry just seemed to be a way for me both to be myself and to think and to find pleasure sometimes also heartbreak, but it just seemed to be the place where I could live.